Let us go back to 2008 and 2009, when India was governed by the UPA. Fuel prices were being kept relatively low through a government-controlled pricing and subsidy system. India imported a large share of its crude oil, so international crude prices directly affected the cost of petrol, diesel, kerosene and LPG. To protect consumers from the full impact of rising costs, the government used a system in which public sector oil companies absorbed part of the burden with government support and other mechanisms.
One important mechanism was the issuance of oil bonds. These were special securities given to oil marketing companies instead of paying the entire subsidy in cash. In simple terms, the government was shifting part of the financial burden into future years, and fuel prices could therefore be managed, but the bonds still represented a future liability. According to a parliamentary reply, worth 1,48,186 crore were issued during 2005-06 to 2009-10. The bonds did not disappear. They carried repayment obligations and interest into future financial years.
In 2014, the NDA government came to power. The inherited oil bond liabilities remained part of the government's financial obligations.
Some oil bonds matured during the following years, and the government made payments toward both principal and interest. The major issue was not only the original principal. Interest accumulated over the life of these securities, substantially increasing the eventual financial cost.
A 2021 parliamentary reply estimated the total payout on the oil bonds at approximately 3.2 lakh crore, including the principal and interest. The same parliamentary record stated that had accrued and been paid through financial year through 2020-21, including substantial payments made during the NDA years. So why could fuel appear cheaper? Because consumers were not necessarily paying the entire economic cost immediately. The difference was handled through subsidies, compensation mechanisms, and oil bonds.
It was a trade-off: reduce the immediate burden on consumers, but create financial obligations that had to be managed in later years.
Parliamentary data later showed that additional principal and interest payments were still scheduled beyond 2021, extending the story of these old fuel-related liabilities into the 2020s.
By the mid-2020s, the story had become a lesson in public finance. Decisions that reduce pressure today can create obligations for governments and taxpayers tomorrow.
This was therefore not simply a story about cheap petrol. It was a story about how subsidy policy, government borrowing, oil company finances, and the oil bond episode shows one important principle of a government decision does not always disappear. Sometimes, it simply moves forward in time.